Hi folks, I'm James and welcome to episode 29 of I Don't Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles Quarantine catalog, where I am attempting to play all 248 Beatles songs in chronological order while we are all stuck inside. As always, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Venmo, in case you would like to subscribe, follow, or support the series. Today, we're going to do things a little differently. This is our first non-Beatles song, and to give us a little change of pace and to be a little easier on myself, this is going to be a quicker episode. The Beatles technically didn't release this as a Beatles song, so we don't need to give it as much time as their major catalog. So let's dive right into our first song the Beatles gave away, I'll Be On My Way. Yes, the Beatles used to give songs away all the time. So John and Paul wrote songs constantly, and they weren't always huge hits. They weren't always that great. And in some cases they were great, but the Beatles, the rest of the band, they just didn't want to record it. And in some cases they just had so much material that they didn't need this extra song. So what they would do is they would give these subpar songs or extra songs to up-and-coming groups that were often on the same label, often managed by Brian Epstein, who managed the Beatles. So they were, in some cases, friends with the Beatles, and these songs would help jumpstart some of their careers. Now, many people will say that these are not technically Beatles songs, and many of the Beatles fans watching this video probably have never heard this song, because it's not really a Beatles song. They never released it officially. But to skip over these songs that are, for the most part, they are written by John and Paul. They are produced by the Beatles producer, George Martin. The bands are managed by the Beatles manager, Brian Epstein. They're recorded at Abbey Road Studios, the Beatles studio, on Parlophone, the Beatles record label. They are almost entirely Beatles songs. The only difference is who is playing and singing the tune. And in many cases, the Beatles were in the studio helping them shape the song the way that they imagine it to go. So to skip over these songs that were fully produced, these aren't demos, these aren't just fooling around in the studio, these are fully produced songs, some of which hit number 1, hit number 2 in the top 10. Some of these songs became very popular, and the record says Lennon McCartney on it. So I'll Be On My Way is the first song that the Beatles gave away, and they gave it to a young group, a young artist named Billy J. Kramer and his backing group, the Dakotas. Billy J. Kramer with the Dakotas, as they are billed on the record, would release I'll Be On My Way as the B-side to Do You Want to Know a Secret, which is also a Lennon McCartney original, obviously. And this would be Billy J's first single. And I'll Be On My Way would go all the way up to number 2 in the UK. Just behind, who else? The Beatles with From Me to You. The song itself is extremely simple. It would have been written as early as 1961 and would have been in the Beatles live sets before any record deals were signed, before the Beatles were even close to becoming famous. And you can tell this song is very young and very simple. It has a major Buddy Holly vibe to it, possibly more than most Beatles songs. This song sounds like Buddy Holly helped them write it. Things to listen for in this song. There's not much. Not to say that it isn't a good song. It's just there's nothing in it that's that sticks out as wildly interesting, which may speak to why the Beatles gave it to a different group, because it didn't excite them really in any way. But the one thing to point out is the Beatles break out that augmented chord that we've mentioned in previous episodes. The intro, and Billy J. Kramer does not do this in his version, interestingly. He decided to leave this out. But in the Beatles version, they play an augmented chord to do this cool walk-up pattern. And that's an A augmented, A6, A augmented, A. It's just a very simple intro, but it sticks out. It's the only thing in the song that's really like different and new. The rest of the song is a very basic, Buddy Holly inspired song with nice little harmonies and nice little lyrics. So please enjoy our first non-Beatles song, our first song the Beatles gave away. Billy J. Kramer with the Dakotas, I'll Be On My Way. the day. As the June light turns to moonlight, I'll be on my way. Just one kiss and I'll go. Don't hide the tears that don't show. As the June light turns to moonlight, I'll be on my way to where the winds don't blow, golden rivers flow. This way will I go. They were right, I was wrong. True love didn't last long. As the June light turns to moonlight, I'll be on my way. Hey! To where the winds don't blow and golden rivers flow. This way will I go.